try it all you want, but when you stop at the intersection of classic hip-hop and culinary arts, you find FoodDope, the legendary podcast that personifies the culture through conversations with hip-hop influence, executive chefs, restaurateurs, and food influencers.
Throwing up flat like a ref, whipping up bricks like a chef.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the FoodDope podcast. And this is episode 6, and I'm glad to say I finally made it. I made it through 5. So this is episode 6, and today I got my boy, new friend, fellow hip-hop lover, Chef Tharren Printup. What's up, Chef?
Man, what's going on, brother? It's a pleasure to be here.
Nothing much, bro. The pleasure is all mine, because let me tell you why and what happened. When I reached out to you, man, you got back to me with such vigor, exuberance. I was like, I can't wait to talk to this dude right here, man, and the time has finally come, bro. And I thank you for being here at FoodDope podcast.
Man, you already know it, man. I had to make it here. Just viewing you, man, just seeing what you got going on, the platform you got. I mean, like I said, most people just have a food podcast, no platform. Some people got music, no platforms. You combine both of them, so I had to make it on here.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. I'm ready to get started. And before I do on episode 6, I gotta give shouts out for my last episode, episode 5. I want to thank the good people in Houston, Texas that welcomed me, showed me a lot of hospitality. Big up to Chef Charles Foreman of Mimi's New Orleans Cafe and Oyster Bar in Richmond, Texas. And big ups to Chef CJ Clinton Jackson of CJ's Masterpiece. 2 dope chefs, man. I really enjoyed it. And all my family out there in H-Town, man, you know how it is. I really wish I could have saw y'all, but I was there on business, and that city's so big, man. Shit, I was running around. But I got my business taken care of, and hopefully I'll see y'all on the next go-round. So I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on my next go-round. Chef T, what's up, man?
Man, blessed and busy, brother. I can't complain at all.
Yeah, it's the life of a chef, huh?
Come on, man. I mean, day in, day out. I mean, most people just, on the inside, just outside looking in, just see the glamour of it. But I mean, it's a lot that go into it. It's a lot of gridiron.
Yeah. And that's what we're here for. You say the outside looking in. Shit, we want to get the inside and look in from somebody who's an insider who know what they're talking about.
Man, let's get down to the nitty gritty.
All right. Chef, let's talk about next level catering. What's popping with next level?
Next Level Catering was built off the thought process and simulation of just creating a 5-star atmosphere, just a restaurant vibe, the whole scenario, 9 yards, without actually being in the hustle bustle of a restaurant. Just creating that 5-star simulation of your home venue, whether you got renting out a club, whether it's a team board meeting, whether it's a studio, whether the scenario is, we're gonna lay it out, we're gonna lay out the red carpet for you, just create that 5-star atmosphere vibe without you, just being in the hustle and bustle of a restaurant, just having to worry of making a reservation, waiting in line. So that's pretty much the foundation of just being mobile, just providing those services wherever you need.
Dope. Shit, I'm ready to hire you right now, man. And that's a hell of a sales pitch right there. Yeah. So where you from, Chef?
Originally from Warner Robins, Georgia, 478 Middle Georgia.
Warner Robins, huh? What was it coming up? What kind of child were you? What kind of in elementary school? What kind of student were you?
Man, I was always the sponge. I wanted to view everything, all my surroundings, and just kind of mix it up with pretty much with my platform.
Yeah.
Just viewing, just trying to learn. That's pretty much what it was. Soaking up music, soaking up different antics, just soaking up, just different things just from other kids. Just trying to learn from everybody.
You get in trouble a lot?
Not getting caught, but
getting caught?
I had my fair share.
You ain't in trouble unless you get caught.
Listen, I had light feet.
That's what's up. So, for people who don't know, let them know where Warner Robins is.
Warner Robins, for my people who don't know, about 20-25 minutes just south of Macon, about an hour 45 just north of Atlanta.
All right. And this is Chef Tharren Printup, Chef T from Next Level Catering, and you're here with the professor, Nathan T Rideaux on FoodDope podcast. And man, I'm happy to have you here today, man. And I see that you also had, man, when you sent me your information, the little bio you sent me, I'm like, this is incredible. Whoever wrote this up and came up with this, because I'm a writer too, that's what's up, because it was incredibly descriptive. And I'm speaking of the part where the Southern bred with vast training in American, French, Creole, and Greek cuisine. That hooked me right there, because I'm like, damn. Let's talk about those. What's your favorite out of all the cuisines I just named?
Man, it gotta be the French Creole. I mean, my business started out in Savannah, Georgia. So pretty much just that low coastal empire cuisine, that Cajun, that Gullah Geechee. That's what it started out with.
Right.
Man, I had Creole chefs kind of beat that cuisine into my head till it made me love it.
Yeah.
And just being under French chefs, French Cajun chefs. So
Right.
that was my first love right there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now I've heard quite a bit of like I'm familiar. My last name is Rideaux. I'm not French. I'm Creole from South Louisiana. I've heard quite a bit about the cultures between the Gullah Geechee and the Creole. Let me know some kind of the comparisons and contrast, if you will.
Man, so many people just compare the two, just think it's all just Creole, just one cooking pot. But nah, I mean, Gullah Geechee, Creole, they got pretty much just strongest things, but the similarities are all there.
Right.
You know, with the Creole, they more categorized, just being with the French, just the French aspect of it. Gullah Geechee, that's more, bayou, just being that swamp heritage of it. So, I mean, they got a few similarities, but, I mean, the distinctions that just drive them apart is great. You got to dive into the real history behind it.
Right.
And you see just how the food, the culture, it all tie in together.
Yeah.
Just one big old melting pot, but you still got to know the difference between the two.
That's what's up. Yeah, yeah. And I think on my last episode, I said that to the last chef. Last chef is like, that's one of my pet peeves is when people misuse the terms Cajun and Creole and just associate anything with South Louisiana cooking as just Cajun,
man.
just for the sake of mainstream.
It's different regions. You got to know how to categorize it.
Yeah, you got to know how to categorize
Otherwise, you're going to disrespect the culture itself.
Exactly. Now, who taught you how to cook?
Ooh, man. Listen, I didn't even have a passion for it. Just being in Savannah, just trying to find a job, just trying to pay my way through school, things like that. Just kind of stumbled upon the Hilton downtown, just one of the finest restaurants in Savannah.
Wait a minute. How old were you?
Man, I was a young cat, 22 years old.
Oh, okay. So you still consider that young in the industry?
Yeah, man. I mean,
it's young, but I was expecting. When you said that, I was expecting 22. I thought you were gonna say something like 12, 15. I decided I wanted to this and that.
Nah, man, it came to me late. That's the crazy part about it. People think I've been doing this and I had a passion for it my entire life. No, I mean, not really. I had a passion for the business side of it, but the culinary part, that came by accident.
Right.
So, I mean, just stumbled in there, actually just tried to get a job at the front desk, but
yeah.
I had a passion. I had a passion for cooking, just watching different shows, playing around at home, but, I got my shot. So once I got in there, just seeing, the science behind it, the passion of it, the fire, man, that sparked something in me. So it was all about just learning it. Yeah. How can I learn? How can I learn it? How can I know what they know? I want to do this.
And what was the first step you took towards that goal after you first discovered that?
Man, listen, it was pretty much just trying to work my way up in ranks right there. I just mentioned, my favorite cuisine was French Creole, so I had a French Creole chef. Pretty much beat that mentality into me every day. Before you even let me touch everything, you made me cut all the onions, all the celery, all the bell peppers for the gumbo. Would never let me make the gumbo.
Yeah.
Cut all the onions for the French onion soup. Would never let me make the soup.
Prep, huh?
But I showed that I was consistent with it. So finally got my shot. Made it online. Working up just to be the sous chef up there.
That's what's up.
And I made my way around different restaurants around Savannah. Been in a different atmosphere, from bars, lounges.
Yeah.
So, hey, once I had that passion for it, man, it just ignited.
Ignited, huh? That's what's up. When you first put ingredients in your hand, what was the first thing you cooked? I mean, serious. I always tell a story. I threw a canned salmon and rice and a bunch of cayenne pepper. First thing, I was probably 10, 11 years old, and it was disgusting. What was the first thing when you got ingredients in your hand that you crafted?
Man, Southern bread chef, it got to be frying. So it was actually, it was just simple things like braised pork chop, fried chicken. But when I actually discovered the ingredients and how they go together, just figuring out the math problem of it,
right?
I just started elevating my dishes just from just starting with simplicity, just kind of elevating up to 5-star Michelin type meals.
Yeah. How old were you when you was it the Hilton? You said you first?
Yeah, the Hilton.
How old were you at that time?
21 years old.
21 years. What year was that?
Let's see. That was take me back. That was 2011. Yeah.
2011.
Yeah. What? 2011 going on 2012, I believe. Yeah.
What you were listening to at the time? What you was bumping?
Man, listen. It was pretty much underground Atlanta, underground Atlanta music. Just that, that struggle gridiron music.
Yeah. Who? Let me see. Give me some names. 2011. I can't think of nobody at the time. Because the underground Atlanta that I'm familiar with, I got a few years on you before pre-Outcast. So, man, we had, it was the bass music. You had, Hard Boys, people like that. Success in Effect, Kilo, people like that. Man, it's hard for me to come up with any names from anybody that late.
And that's just like you said, we got a few years apart, but pretty much what I capped off with was, Outcast, Dungeon Family, and trickling on down. So that was pretty much, my main era right there.
Yeah.
But the names you mentioned, I mean, you gotta know the culture of it. You gotta respect it. You gotta know where it started from to get where it is now. Yeah,
and that's the thing. I think over the years, man, I've tried to seek out interviews with a lot of people who make up the history in certain cities, just to tell the stories, to curate the stories, just to keep it going. Because like I always say, once you don't talk about it and it's forgotten about, man, those stories get in the wrong hands. Other people start saying they created this and they created that.
Oh, man, you gotta know who the curator is.
You gotta know what it is. Yeah. Now, I noticed what it said is that you're highly skilled and highly trained, but just reading about you, you seem to possess a gift of service. Just reading the quotes from your customers and everything, you can be trained and taught that other stuff. And as I said in previous shows, man, service is a gift for people. Everybody just can't collect a check. Tell me how you feel about service.
Man, listen, service, it goes hand in hand with the food.
Right.
Pretty much how I win in this industry, I mean, it's millions of chefs out here. It's thousands of restaurants just in one city alone. What sets you apart from the next chef?
Right.
Yeah, you could be in the pool with all no 5-star chefs, but what's gonna set you apart?
Yeah.
I prided myself on service. Once I figured out the key code of that, just providing an experience to people, it was over with. Yeah, my food's great, but what people truly want is the experience. How do I make them feel? How do I relate to them? How can I just make that experience magical for them?
Dope.
And that's why I excelled at. So, I mean, like I said, the food great, but people want the chef to experience.
Right. And that's something I did notice too, other than the services that you also, I go through you looking at your page research, I'm like, you teach a lot too. You're very big on education. Like, where'd that come from as far as somebody like me? I'm dumb when it comes to the kitchen. I can cook, but I don't read ingredients well. I just season the taste or whatever. But you actually, I see a couple of things. You actually teach, man. You get great joy out of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, I got a passion for it. So when people see that passion, it revs them up. So pretty much what I do every private dinner I do, every event I do, I try to give them a little background of the dish they eating. Yeah. So I mean, you love it, but as a chef gonna give you the method of it behind it. Right. Is he gonna tell you where your Alaskan snow crab originated from? He's gonna, give you the teaching methods on how to poach your lobster down to the T. Is he gonna tell you, what specific aged cheese that he used to make your seafood risotto? So that's why I kind of beat him, man. I give you a visualization of the dish that you're eating while you enjoying it, while creating that ambiance experience. So. And
just because I want to know, what kind of cheese would I use in a risotto?
Oh man, it got to be Asiago or aged Swiss cheese.
Asiago, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, man.
No. I know a little something like that.
Come on now. you know what you're talking about.
When you're cooking, you keep a radio in the kitchen?
I do. I mean, music, it ties in together with it. I mean, when people look at the culinary industry, you don't know what kind of grit it puts on you. I mean, it's a gritty game. I mean, you see a lot of drugs, you see a lot of just a lot of hard things within the culinary industry. But the music for me, that kind of just replaced all that.
Right.
When I'm cooking, I feel free. I'm in my zone. But when I tie in the music with it, that's when I come alive with it. That's when I just zone out. I get my just tunnel vision with it. Yeah. I kind of just escape from the outside world. You combine the culinary with the music together.
And music is powerful, and I think when I wanted to start this show, that's why I had to talk about bringing hip hop culture and combining it with culinary arts. Because every noteworthy thing I could say happened in my life, I could remember what song was the hottest at the time, what was bumping at the time. Hell, I proposed to my wife at when Above the Rim. If all you old heads, when Above the Rim dropped, you know the basketball movie,
man.
Tupac.
Come on,
yeah,
man.
we was at Above the Rim. That's why I proposed to my wife at the theater watching Above the Rim.
Man,
So
that's dope.
I would think so too, man. You know, every noteworthy thing, man, I can say is I can tie something to the culture to it, and specifically music, because I used to rap. That's why I'm fond of rap music and the culture or what like that. But out of all the elements that come from the culture, what is it you think that's missing that you would like to see come back? Because for me, I think the prominence of the DJ. I always say I give the DJs and producers, because a lot of producers morphed from DJs into producers. But DJ scratching in records, I miss it.
Man, listen, that's a lost art right now.
That's a
just
lost
to,
art.
Just to see where it was, the where it came from.
Yeah.
And not to say that DJs don't respect it now, but just for that to come back, that's a new element right there. That's something we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, yeah. And I would big up to all the DJs out there too. I always say, man,
Salute the DJs.
that's #1 for me. I take DJs / producers over rappers, MCs anytime, because the ones, they built the soundtrack to the culture, built the soundtrack to our lives. You say you keep a radio in the kitchen, man. My lab, I call my lab at home is my garage. I got my chair I sit in, I got my Bluetooth speaker, got my TV. That's why I sit and I study music, and I got a table when I write everything. I got composition books full of stuff, my scripts. Getting ready for the show, I sit in the garage, I just listen to music and just zone out.
Man, you gotta have that certain zone to get into, man.
Yeah.
That creative space.
Yeah.
And music just surrounds it. You gotta have it. It brings you alive. Just opens up that mindset a little bit more.
Right. Now, what's the perfect hip hop song to you? And the ingredients that make up the perfect hip hop song. I would like to say, of course, people will say beats, rhymes, but there's other elements to that to me. I gotta have authenticity, purity, a hell of a narrative, bringing to life colors and flavors.
Exactly.
You want to add to that?
Man, just like you said, it gotta be authentic.
Yeah.
Give me a narrative. Give me a story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I mean, I'm more on the lines of, perseverance music, gritty, the struggle, what struggle you had to get to get to where you're going right now.
Right.
So all that, I mean, that creates a hell of a song for me.
Yeah, I like to hear them stories, man.
Yeah, man.
That's why I like to look at an artist from the beginning of their career and see how they progress, man. Just hear the struggle where they come up to and when they finally make it to like just from being a rapper to a musician to an artist. They understand every aspect of that.
That's the process I love to see right there. I
Yeah.
mean, just your come up.
Yeah, your come up, exactly. Your come, man, I loved it. That's why I started, that was dope. Because I like to hear the come up stories. Because we all got our stories to tell, you know what I'm saying? And like hip hop is the soundtrack for that.
Man, most people just go, just show you life just when you made it to that level or before. And nobody likes to show the process of in between. So yeah, I can appreciate those true elements.
Yeah, right. This is Chef Tharren Printup from Next Level Catering, executive private celebrity chef. Chef, tell me the term celebrity chef. Give us some people that you've, some of your clientele that you've cooked for.
All right. Well, pretty much the most well-known household name that I have cooked for, was Will Smith's film crew. Back in, 2000, I want to say 16 going on 17.
Right.
They filmed the movie Gemini Man in Savannah. So listen, I didn't even know they was in the area at the time. But doing those film shoots, they got to stop and start. So it just so happened that they came into the restaurant that I was a chef at the time. So listen, that was crazy right there.
Right.
But some of the most recent names that I've done so far that really just brought me down to the area. Cause like I said, my business was based off the Savannah area, but most recently, been throughout the Florida area, a little bit of Tennessee, but Madonna, just pretty much majority right now is the Atlanta area. Back in December, my brother Mac Wells, shout out, salute him. Songwriter, author, actor right now. May have seen him on CW, Black Lightning, movie Rampage.
Okay.
Let's see, HBO Lovecraft Country. So salute to him. He brought me down to Atlanta, do a big event for his girlfriend's birthday. So shout out to him on that. That was a major event, and pretty much from that sparked just a little relocation for me right now. So. Like I said, pretty much just spread out throughout the area, but Savannah. But yeah, right now it's pretty much based in Atlanta right now.
Yeah. I noticed also you got sponsors
Yes, sir.
and product.
Yes, sir.
How'd that pop off?
Man, listen, just reaching out there. Most people, they get complacent with the business. Yeah,
Right.
you reach a certain plateau, but just setting everything aside. Who can back you?
Right.
And that's pretty much why I win at. Just with the products that I get, just being, just having those partnerships with Amazon, just with vendors like Cisco, Performance Foods right now. And just partner up with different people just to kind of back my business a little bit, just to
Right.
get me on the platform that I need to be in. So that's
Yeah.
pretty much just why I win at, just having just top of the line product, just having those supplies that's just household names right now. So yeah,
They approach you, or did you find a way to approach the right person at the right time?
approaching the right person at the right time creates all the opportunity in the world. So
That's dope. That's some dope. That's some hip hop shit. If I ever
that's
heard
it.
That's the kind of stuff I like to hear.
And it's so crazy that you say that. I mean, next level, pretty much the recipe that I use to win in my craft right now is just not limiting myself just to being a chef.
Right,
And
right.
how I created just the adaptability just to reach all demographics, all settings, all scenarios. But how I got to be that way, how I reach success just doing it is just having a different mentality just from the average chef. Man, just have the mentality that I got to put on like a rapper.
Yeah.
I got to carry myself as a businessman.
Yeah.
I got to master the culinary world while maintaining the street hustle mentality throughout the whole process. So
Yeah.
that all mixed together, I mean, it created Chef T.
Yes, sir. Damn, Chef T. That's what I like to hear, man. What's your favorite era in hip hop?
It got to be early 90s.
Early 90s.
Yes, sir.
My era. My early 20s, coming of age era. And you know what? I used to, I said that for a long time. But I think recently, I want to go earlier. I said it, I know I might ruffle some feathers because a lot of people, it becomes cliche to say maybe 92 to 96 is the best. I used to say that.
It's hard to argue with it.
But man, I got to go back to, and this recently, I had to go back to 84 to 88.
Ooh, okay.
Cause I'm going through that right now. It's like, damn, I'm going back to 84. First time I seen the Fat Boys on Soul Train. It's the beginning of me becoming a hip hop fan. I was like, damn, I gotta start doing something. You had Houdini's, Run DMC.
Yes,
And that's
sir.
why I say, man, you got the verses on Instagram. Ain't nobody beating Run DMC on no verses.
No, man, listen, they the
Just for what-
curators of this.
Thank
Listen,
you.
They the originators.
Thank you. Yeah, I think 84 to 88, man, because I think at that time, it was, man, everybody was dropping, man. It was so many people dropping at that time, and deep down south where I come from, we saw what we saw on TV, on Soul Train, on this or that, and it's like everybody was different and sounded and everybody had their own, was all hip hop, but they had their own lane, but it was
Yeah.
all hip hop, if
That's
you
it.
understand what I'm saying. And they sounded
it all
differently.
tied
They
in
had
together,
different.
but
Right.
everybody had their own specific sound.
Right.
You could distinguish it.
And there was no stereotypes. It was archetypes. They
listen.
built it so everybody had to come under what we were getting ready for in the 90s. As I used to say, we came up in the golden era. That 84 to 88 prepared us for our creativity for moving into the 90s and how we look and everything, walk, talk, and look and everything, dance, everything. So that's why I gotta say
Exactly.
it had more influence. Even though I think when the 90s came, man, you had producers that was stretching the game like Premier and the different things and the different sounds they were coming up with, man, and the Pete Rock and the Premiers and Large Professors and all them. I think the 80s is what built that, started building that
Yeah, of
mentality up
course.
for it, man.
Man, that was a transition right there.
Yeah. Public Enemy, damn, man, Stetson Sonic.
Man, listen, they based the foundation off hip hop.
Yeah.
You gotta respect that.
You gotta respect it, man.
Even if you don't know it, not from that area, you still gotta respect it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it, learn
Right.
it.
Right. Favorite era in culinary arts, if there is one?
Ooh, let's see. I would go to,
That's the first time I've asked this question out of all
and
the
that's
chefs
that's
I've
an
talked to.
interesting one.
Yeah.
I would go with classic French. Now this is way back. 1800s.
Okay.
Now, I've studied different culinary cuisines, but that's the one that's really kind of stuck out to me because it was it was no margin for error. It was either right or it was wrong.
Right.
You know, sticking to it. I mean, these classical techniques, just braising. I mean, man, listen, go into it all day, but
I'm glad you just said that. Let me know what braising is. I mean, I know and I've heard the technique of braising. What? Give us a description of what braising is.
I'll give you a classic French dish to go along with it. I don't know if you ever heard of, but coq au vin.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've heard of coq au
red
vin.
wine braised chicken. Now
Okay.
what you going? Now pretty much technique with it. You can brown cast iron with it a little bit just to give it that rough exterior with it.
Right.
But you know you're gonna lay it out in a roasting pan, hotel pan, whatever you got, just to kind of submerge it a little bit. You know, get your vegetable mirepoix, whether you use potatoes, golden potatoes, celery, carrots, golden onions with it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna pretty much braise it down with your liquid of choice. Now coq au vin means red chicken, of course. So you're gonna braise it down with red wine. Braise it off in the oven just till it kind of creates a confit within its own juices.
Right.
So that's pretty much, I mean, in layman terms, just searing, then roasting off in liquid.
What's a confit? I've heard it, but I just need to know what it is.
Now, mostly related to the most famous dish, duck
Duck
confit.
confit,
Now,
exactly.
what it basically means is cooked in its own natural juices.
Okay.
Now, that's what you get the term, duck fat potatoes, things of
Right.
that nature. So, pretty much, I'll do it the same way I do coq au vin. Get a nice little, well, first, can't skip over that. We're going to pickle it first.
Right.
It has to sit in a brine for at least 24 hours. Like I said, we get into those classic French methods with it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, you gotta study it, where the art form it came from, like music. So, you're going to brine it in those, Bailey, pink Himalayan salt, pickling spice,
Yeah.
brown sugar, let that sit. And you're going to rinse that brine off of it. You're going to sear it, and you're going to braise it down. But instead of using the wine, you're going to use, pure olive oil, vegetable oil, get those vegetables in there,
Right.
and roast it off. Now, most people going to think, you just baking it in oil? What?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Man, listen, you get those natural juices from it, you strain it off, you sear it off with that duck oil that you just made.
Damn, man.
Man, it's crazy.
I'm hungry, man.
And listen, and I like doing mine, the finished product, glazing down like a little blackberry jam
Yeah.
or apricot jam, carrying like a little barbecue sauce with it.
Right.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I told you, I'll talk food with you all day.
I got an anniversary coming up next week. Me and my wife. I want you to make that for us, man.
Man,
That's
listen,
what you just said.
I can do that now.
We gonna
Listen,
talk.
that duck confit, man, that's a crowd winner right there.
Okay, I've been hearing about duck confit for years and I've never tried
Yeah,
it.
man, it's a lost art form, man.
Okay.
Like you said, if you feel that way about music, man, I feel that way about food.
Yeah.
Just those classic techniques, those classic dishes. People put their own spin on it, but you gotta respect the all naturality of it.
Yeah.
You can put your own little spin on it, but just stick to those classic techniques with it.
Right.
Pay homage to it.
Yeah, pay homage, show respect. You mentioned Savannah earlier. Now, you lived in Savannah?
Oh yeah, man. From 2010 to 2011, I spent 10 to 11 years studying that culinary basis, just based off in Savannah.
Okay.
Before I branched out.
I know big boys from West Savannah.
Yeah, man. I actually got a chance to meet him.
Really?
Oh yeah, he was.
Seemed like he cool, man.
Yeah, man. He a real cool dude.
Yeah.
He just got done doing a show in South Carolina. He was, man, ironically walking the strip downtown,
Yeah.
City Market,
Yeah.
right off the historic district, Bay Street.
Yeah.
Man, ran into him, cool dude, took a picture and everything. So
Right.
yeah, big shout out to Big Boy.
Favorite Outcast album?
Let's see. Ooh, man, that's a tough one right there. I don't know. Man, I had to go with the duo album that they dropped. Either Speaker Boss, Love Below, man. That was a crazy joint. That's a new one from, man. I like their old music, but man, it's that new one that had that new sound to it. I
Right,
mean,
right.
they bridged the gap between the old school Outcast and the new generation in Atlanta.
Right.
That album was crazy.
I gotta check. I've never heard that album.
What?
I've never heard that one. My favorite one is AT Aliens, though.
Man, listen.
But I've never heard Speaker Box Love Below.
Man,
And
listen, you gotta give it a listen.
And that's why, man, at that time, and I always say, I didn't have to. Hell yeah, I had to. At that time, I went years and years. As much as I know about hip hop and much I have in this catalog right here, right now, I went years without listening to hip hop. I was in ministry. So
How
I
did
just
you manage that?
You know what I like to say? I was busy. I went like 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
I was raising my kids, and I was busy being a husband and a father. And one day I thought about it, like, that's what it was. I was just busy all them years. And the climate of music had changed, so I didn't have the time to chase, to go to, we used to go to record stores and grab and read this and read that. I was busy, man.
And
I was
that's
busy.
understood.
And, and the kids started getting older, started leaving me more time. That's when I did my documentary, 2013. So I just started getting back in the game. And
documentary,
everything.
all right.
Yeah, and the album I listened to get me going on that documentary, just to get my head right back in the space of a hip hop, I listened to the Hot Boys, Guerrilla Warfare.
That's what I'm talking about.
That put me in this place, in the creative
that's
space.
what get you in the zone.
Man, that put me in the zone in 2012, and I ain't stopped since. I ain't stopped. I mean, I've been documentaries, podcasts, book, scripted pod, wrote a script. I was writing a movie script, and that's how Players from the South, which is my audio podcast.
Yeah,
I was
you
writing
mentioned it.
a movie script. Yeah, check it out, man. It's about
I got to.
it's audio drama, fiction, but it's about 30% of my real life and real stories of people, of me
that's
and
dope.
people I know and I read, of how hip hop was on the Gulf Coast. Because when people speak of the South, they mention Atlanta and don't mention other regions, but it's a vast region with different sounds.
That's it.
So I talk about the Gulf Coast, which is where I'm from. And it's called Players from the South because the name came from it was the Masterpiece Silk and UGK, Players from the South,
Yeah.
So Players with a Z, Players from the South is on all major podcast platforms. Check it out. It's all scripted, and I have a lot of history of the South in there, stories and everything. And I have a main character named Kevon Theory. It was a Southern hip hop mogul from 25 years ago, and he getting involved in flipping his money and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and he go
boy.
back and tell stories from happened 25 years earlier, how he relates to his life in current time. So y'all check that out. That's Players from the South. I just had shameless self-promotion.
Man, listen, you got to drop some knowledge. You got to.
Yeah, bro. Let's talk about you as a hip-hop influenced chef. If there was anybody involved in the culture, it don't have to be a rapper or somebody involved in rap music. It could be anybody involved in the culture. Who you got game from? Who was it?
Who I got game from?
As a chef, yeah. I mean, who was it? Nah, as anybody in hip hop culture, who was it? That person, like, you just watched how they move or whatever in silence or whatever, and like, damn, that's pretty fly. I'm carry myself like that when I'm come up, hey, anybody.
Man, listen. Now it's funny that you say that. Pretty much the whole marketing strategies, the whole mindset behind like the tour that we got going on for right now for Next Level was, my marketing strategist. He a hot artist, in Atlanta right now. Shout out to Fool ADC right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now he pretty much gave me the mindset of just bridging the gaps between the two worlds of
Right.
it. Just not just being a chef, but just bridging the gap, just combining the music with the culinary arts. Because music, it already has its platform, it already has its stature. What do
Right.
people love more than food? They love music.
Mm-hmm.
He really birthed that idea
Yeah.
for me to bridge the gap between the two. So
Yeah.
he pretty much just had that main influence on me that not just stick to one lane with it. If I wanted to reach the goal that I wanted to reach, get to that platform of being a major chef, even being a major artist with this, just combine the two.
Right.
And that's how we came up with the whole the tour idea.
Okay.
Have you ate yet? Brother saw me just create the dishes that I just created just for different events.
Yeah.
And just started piecing thoughts together, just creating a whole song, whole platform, just a whole thing behind it. So I give him that credit.
That's what's up. Yeah, everybody gotta have that one
Yeah.
OG or somebody they look up to, man, and that's admirable. I asked you what your favorite Outcast album was. Is that your favorite group of all time? Rap group of all time?
Yeah, of my era, yeah.
Okay. I would say, man, all time for me, EPMD.
Oh yeah?
It's EPMD for me, yeah. When I first started rapping, I used to try to sound like Parrish, like Mr. Slow Flow, Parrish Smith from EPMD. Ice Cube is what inspired me, but I tried to sound like Parrish Smith. I don't know.
Say, he still got NWA roots, but yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. So let's talk more about Next Level Catering, man. What's your general clientele? Is it just people with money who are hungry?
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much
I mean,
it.
I pretty much next level is kind of just, it's still one platform, but I kind of just section off, just doing upscale, 5-star private dinners, just
Right.
at that, just at that top tier clientele level. But the other part, just doing large scale, events, just for, just for different artists, different clientele like that. So, I mean, that's pretty much the bridge gap of it. I mean, yeah, I love doing those private dinners, but those large scale parties, I mean, those are it right there.
Yeah. Now, what's your go-to dish where if somebody's coming, if you're meeting with a potential client and they're coming to taste, what is it that if I prepare this for them, like I got them?
Man, and it's crazy. I'm gonna go back to that classic French. I'm gonna do a filet Oscar. Now that's a herb crusted, filet mignon, tenderloin. Everybody loves steak,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna give them the best of the best cut. We're gonna get that shaved, that aged filet mignon with it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a nice herb crust with it. We're gonna do a nice, nice golden shrimp and crab butter on top of it. We're gonna do nice rosemary scalloped potatoes, grilled asparagus. That's an award winner right there.
Yeah.
If I'm really just trying to impress them, make that deal, get that clientele, just side with me. That's what I'm going with.
That's what you're going with. What's the best cut of meat for a steak? Best cut of steak?
Man, listen, it's gonna be a hard tie between Choice Angus prime ribeye or the filet mignon.
Okay.
The filet mignon that cuts like butter, but that char on a nice seared ribeye,
Yeah.
man, with that marble on there, you can't go wrong with it.
Bone in or bone out?
Let's go bone in, tomahawk style.
Yes, sir.
Listen, we're going
Now
with the
we
big boy.
How you feel about desserts?
Man, listen, I love to cook, but it's a hidden secret, man.
Yeah.
I got a passion for baking too.
Okay.
Man, listen, I could
Yeah.
bake my way out of a box. I mean, between just tier K's, just doing southern desserts, and I got a passion for it. So I mean, it's a hidden art. I mean, the difference between just cooking and baking, it's either yay or nay with it. You can't really control the aspects of the timing with it like you do cooking. So
Yeah.
baking, you got to be, it's a weighing game. You got to have that patience level with it. You can't rush it.
What do you consider the perfectly produced song?
Let's see the aspects that go into it. Of course you gotta have a catchy beat with it. I mean, you gotta have an eye grab, just to grab the people in.
Yeah.
You gotta have the storyline with it. You gotta have the acoustics with it.
Yeah.
And you gotta have just a little bit of grit to it, just just so you know your bearings with it.
Yeah.
And my perfect song, it don't matter what it is, what occasion, just gonna get me in that right mindset. I got to go back to, the early 90s, like I stated. I got to go with pop.
Okay.
It got to be, I'll say either No More Pain or Two America's Most Wanted. And listen, those tracks right there, it don't even matter what the occasion is.
Right.
But yeah, that's going to put me in the mind game right there.
Picture perfect. Paint a perfect picture. Bomb circles with precision, mind.
You just to get richer.
Now
Come
we
on,
talking.
man.
Yeah. I keep my hand on my gun.
Catch me on the run.
This is Chef T, Tharren Printup, sitting here today on FoodDope Podcast, and this is your host, Nathan T Rideaux, aka the Professor, curator of culinary dopeness, your curator of culinary dope shit. And Chef, we're gonna close this out, but what you gonna prepare today?
Man, I gotta do the infamous Atlantis Pasta that inspired, this whole tour run that we have going on. This one dish right here, I mean, it opened the door to so many new levels. So I got to give that to you.
Yeah.
Man, it consists of ghost shrimp. We got Maine lobster. We got king crab clusters with it. I mean, we got Atlantic salmon in it. We got bay scallops. So, and the Chardonnay lemon butter sauce. So, I got to give you that one.
Ooh, man, that's what I'm talking about. You need anything you want to add to about next level or yourself? Go ahead. You can go ahead and have the floor.
Man, I just want to, just thank everyone that pretty much supports me on the platform, whether it's big or small, with especially my clientele that entrust me just to create these magical moments for them. So I mean, all that support, it just keeps on pushing me to the next level. Yeah. So, and appreciate you. I mean, just for having me on here. This podcast it's amazing. Just like I said, what you do here, just combining the two, just giving chefs a voice. Because like I said, I mean, yeah, a lot of glamour doesn't go into it unless
Right.
you know you force it. So
Yeah.
what you do here, you know, just giving chefs a voice, just to come on here
Yeah.
to express themselves, just behind their platform, just behind their origin and history. It's amazing. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
man, big salute to you, brother.
Thank
and
you,
I
bro.
thank you.
Thank you, man. I like to, like you said, I like to hear to come up, and I appreciate you coming.
Man, always a pleasure.
That's right. This is let them know where can they find you on social media.
Oh man, yeah. On Instagram and Facebook, you can find me at The Next Level Chef. Website domain, you can look up www.nextlevelcater.com. You know, email nextlevelcater@gmail.com, and you know, reach out to me wherever I'm needed. Whenever you call, I'm gonna come and make it next level for you.
That's right. This is the Professor, Nathan T Rideaux, and remember, you'll never underestimate the weight this culture carries unless you live the life, and I live the life. Peace. Food dope.
What's going on, everybody? Chef T at Next Level Catering here at the FoodDope podcast. And what I'm about to prepare for you all, to cap things off, we're going to do my Atlantis Pasta. And compiles of ghost shrimp. We got Atlantic salmon in here. We got king crab clusters. We got Maine lobsters. We got fettuccine noodles. We got a crab lemon butter beurre blanc. So let's get it started. You're going to get a smoking hot pan. You're going to deglaze with a little bit of vegetable or canola oil. Now, the key to this, you gotta make sure your pan is smoking hot. You wanna get a nice sear on all your seafood. Roll it around a little bit. And that pop that you hear, that's exactly what we're looking for. Now we're gonna start off with our ghost shrimp. Now this shrimp has been marinated for about 24 hours in a little bit of Old Bay, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of lemon zest, and my favorite ingredient, Tabasco. There we go. Hey, if it's not sizzling, not getting that crackle pop, you know you're doing something wrong. There we go. Man, I can smell that Old Bay and that garlic powder steaming off the shrimp right now. There we go. Next trick, we're gonna get our Atlantic salmon in here. Now you wanna spread all your seafood out just so you get a proper sear on everything. Oh yeah. Now when you're doing pasta, you generally wanna do one pan with everything, just so you can just get that flavor zest. You don't want to miss out on any texture profile, any flavor profile within the dish. So we're going to do one pan pasta on everything. Now you're starting to see our shrimp swell up. You get a nice sear on each side. There we go. And we want to let that go for a little bit. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and get ready for our next ingredient. Now, when we sear over our shrimp, we're going to give a nice glaze with our Chardonnay wine. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and start flipping over those salmon pieces first. They cook a little faster than the shrimp. All right. There we go. Now let's check on our shrimp. Oh, yeah. I've given us a nice crispy texture on the outside. Now we're gonna let that go for a few more seconds. Let that other side get a little brown texture on it. There we go. And have a little fun with it while you're doing it. There we go. There we go. We want to let our pan get back smoking hot before we add our Chardonnay in there. Now the key is you want to cook this fast and hot. You don't want your seafood to overcook. All right, now we're ready for our wine. All right, after our wine, you're going to go ahead and get your crab lemon butter sauce. Stir that in, make sure that sauce is harmonious and everything. we go. Now we ready for our pasta. Now I like using fettuccine used, a little bit thicker, likes to soak in the sauce a little bit more, just so you get flavor throughout your whole pasta. Angel hair is fine, maybe even a little penne, but my favorite is fettuccine. And we're gonna get a little bit more of that wine flavor in there. Like I said, you want this to be a quick process. You don't want your seafood overcooking your pan. So you just want to give a heat up just to your already cooked pasta. All right. Now I like using the spin technique with my pasta, just trying to go by an Italian recipe. There we go. We're gonna place our seafood around our pasta. There we go. There we go. We're gonna pour a little bit of that crab butter and that leftover salmon on top. Oh yeah. Now for the fun part, we're gonna get our king crab clusters and our Maine lobster. Now you just want to give this a quick little flash. Our seafood is already cooked, so you still want it to be tender. So quick little flash and you're good to go. Hit it with a little bit more of our Chardonnay wine just for the flavor. There we go. There we go. Now you just want to get that extract of that sauce just to add a little bit more flavor on top of your seafood. All right, we're gonna get our Maine lobster, place it on top. There we go. And our king crab cluster. There we go. And there you have your Atlantis pasta. We'll pour a little bit more of that juice on top just from that wine and that seafood. And there you have it. Ready to enjoy. And you're tuned in to Chef T of Next Level Catering here at the International FoodDope Podcast. And what you have before you have the Atlantis Pasta. You can find me at www.nextlevelcater.com on IG and Facebook at The Next Level Chef.
International FoodDope, brought to you by Urban Science Media, hosted by Nathan T Rideaux, aka The Professor. Find us on all major podcast platforms. Follow us on IG at FoodDope Podcast and at The Professor 73. You'll never underestimate the weight this culture carries unless you live the life. And I live the life. We got history.